And there they go.
WorldMatterRacingNews.com. I'm Magic. We're taking a closer look at Saturday's UAE Derby, a Group 2 race with 16 3-year-olds at Meydan Racecourse on Dubai World Cup Day, Saturday, March 26th. The UAE Derby is race 5. It is also a Kentucky Derby prep race worth 100 points to the winner, 40 to second, 20 to third, 10 to fourth. The top 2 finishers from the UAE Derby guaranteed a spot in the Kentucky Derby starting gate, should they so choose to go. This is an interesting field, 16 horses. It's going to be very tough to cover this mile and 3/16 race. Let's dive right into it. Breaking from the rail, Reiwa Homare is a Japanese horse. Hasn't been seen since October 24th when finishing second to a familiar rival in this race, Sakifu, by a head in a stakes race at Japan going 7 furlongs. The horse got a good time form rating of 97. However, haven't seen since October. This is a very tough spot to try and return, especially considering the horse has never tried to go 2 turns on the dirt. To his inside, Quality Boon, a horse born in Argentina, which means the horse is actually a few months older than several of these because the foaling season starts later for them. This is a horse that has looked very impressive in Meydan at 4 races, including winning the Al Bastakaya Stakes over this exact course and distance last time out, beating, again, several rivals that we'll talk about here. However, despite that horse being able to do so, carrying 131 pounds, continuing to spot at least 10 pounds to the rivals in this spot, it's a very hard thing to overcome. 14 for the fillies in this race is the weight allowance that they'll get compared to Quality Boon. Going this distance against what I think are better horses than what he faced in Al Bastakaya, combined with the fact this horse doesn't have a ton of early speed, I'm going to take a pass. But if you like him, you're getting a square price at 15 to 1 on the morning line stateside. Next is Island Falcon for Godolphin. Saeed Bin Suror, the legendary trainer. This is a horse that won twice on turf, including in Meydan 2 back. Didn't do great in the Saudi Derby at all. Going to try dirt one more time. I'm going to continue to pass on Island Falcon for now. Next, Azure Coast, a controversial horse to be showing up here representing the Russians, but has been undefeated in 3 starts, including winning the UAE 2000 Guineas, going a mile, a 1-turn race over this course last time out, beating several horses, including Quality Boon, who we discussed. However, this is a horse that, from time form rating perspective, hasn't shown enough improvement to really want me to play. It will likely be a shorter price because, again, this is an undefeated horse, a son of Street Sense who won the Kentucky Derby. So a lot to like from a betting perspective. I'm taking a pass. Ben Duke is next, won on debut and then finished 4th to Azure Coast and 3rd to Quality Boon in his last 2 starts. A son of Gun Runner, an American-bred horse racing over in Dubai. It'd be nice to see a Gun Runner colt win the UAE Derby, considering Gun Runner did win the Dubai World Cup, but I don't think it's going to be Ben Duke. The first of 3 from America running in the UAE Derby is going to be Pinehurst for trainer Bob Baffert, jockey Flavian Pratt. They teamed up together to win the Saudi Derby, a Group 3 race, going a 1-turn mile at the King Abdulaziz racetrack. The horse's only attempt at 2 turns was a very poor-looking 5th in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile last fall, a race that has really not produced any decent horses. Actually, Pinehurst is the only horse to have exited the Breeders' Cup Juvenile and, as of March 23rd, won a race, doing so in the Saudi Derby. Perhaps staying away from a lot of the American horses will continue to benefit him. I think is a very interesting horse here. We're going to talk more about him a little bit later. Next is Combustion. This is my top pick, a horse that I really love, a Godolphin homebred from Japan, a son of Discreet Cat, who himself is a son of Forestry, known a little bit more of a sprinter. But Discreet Cat won this race for trainer Saeed Bin Suror in 2006. This horse is coming off of a very impressive win in the Hyacinth Stakes, going a mile, 1-turn race in Japan. This is going to be second off of the layoff, second start at 3. We're getting world-renowned jockey William Buick in the saddle. I love this horse. We're getting 5 to 1 on the morning line. If you get anywhere close to that, especially in the ante bets, play Combustion. Summer is tomorrow, the longest price on the board at 50 to 1 morning line, going to be trying 2 turns for the first time after winning a 7-furlong race over this course by 8 1/4 lengths last time out. However, from a time form perspective, from a speed perspective, and ultimately from a class perspective, this horse really doesn't match up with who he's going to be facing here. Summer is tomorrow, and maybe tomorrow will be your next chance at winning a race, because today is not it. The second of 3 American-based horses competing in the UAE Derby is Gilded Age for trainer Bill Mott, jockey Luis Saez. Trainer Bill Mott famously won the inaugural Dubai World Cup, knows how to get horses to win when they ship overseas. Jockey Luis Saez is going to be aboard. This is a horse that, from a breeding perspective, you would think would love this track and distance out of Medaglia d'Oro and a Bernardini mare. So from that perspective, you would think, yes, this horse is going to love it. However, Dubai Meydan, the racetrack, it's known for playing very, very, very speed friendly, and speed is one thing Gilded Age has never, ever, ever shown early in a race. However, you are getting jockey Luis Saez aboard, and if there's one thing Saez can do is inject some extra speed into a horse. I'm going to take a pass on this horse, at least as far as a win bet goes, because again, from a pace perspective and the way the track usually plays on Dubai World Cup night specifically, I'm going to pass on Gilded Age. Another Japanese runner is next. That's Crown Pride from Shidai Farm, owned by the famous Yoshida family over in Japan. And a horse that at 20-1 on the morning line, I'm very eager to play each way bet, and definitely underneath when I have a win bet going with Combustion. The reason being, this horse's first two career starts, both at 1 1/8 on dirt in Japan, won by a combined 9 lengths, including a stakes race. Returns after a long layoff in the Hyacinth Stakes. Maybe it was the muddy track. Maybe it's the fact we're going a one-turn mile. Either way, finishes 3.5 lengths, 6th behind Combustion, my top pick, but now second off of the layoff, stretching back out to a distance this horse has shown that he really enjoys. The Japanese came to the Breeders' Cup and really rocked the Americans last fall. I think they're going to do it in the UAE Derby here. I like Combustion. I like Crown Pride. I like to keep talking about the horses here. The next one is going to be Withering, a horse that won 2 back over this course in the Al Bastakaya trial, and then finished second to Quality Boon in the Al Bastakaya Stakes last time out, missing by a length and a quarter. If you do like Quality Boon, you should like Withering, but then Withering just passed Ben Doog by a nose, which means you probably should like Ben Doog. I don't like either of those horses, which means I'm going to pass on Withering. The third American running in the UAE Derby is one that's actually been there for quite some time, and that's Get Back Goldie for trainer Doug O'Neill, who sent an entire string of horses over to Meydan for the winner, including Hot Rod Charlie, who's competing in the Dubai World Cup. If you want more information about that, check Dr. Miranda's full preview over at our YouTube channel, youtube.com/racingdudes. As for Get Back Goldie, this is a horse that broke his maiden going 2 turns on the turf at San Anita Park while in for a $50,000 tag. Tries dirt for the first time when in Meydan back in February and wins a 6 furlong sprint by a half length, but stretching out to this distance in the Al Bastakaya, things did not go well at all. Misses by 5.5 lengths, weakened very steadily in the stretch. I don't see things improving that much for this horse, but you are getting world-class rider Irad Ortiz Jr. aboard for the first time. Maybe things will turn around. The last time a world-class rider was aboard was William Buick 2 back in the Audmatha Stakes, the 6 furlong race this horse won, so maybe magic will strike twice for Get Back Goldie. Irwin is another Argentinian-bred, technically 4-year-old, who's foaled in July competing here, and we haven't seen this horse since last November when winning a 1 mile and 9/16 race at Group 1 at the Hippodrome in Argentina, won by 9 lengths. However, whenever it comes to shipping from the South America circuit to North America or to Dubai, to any kind of a world-class facility and track and facing world-class horses, you really don't know what this horse has in him. He is a grandson of Speightstown, who was a champion sprinter. 1 mile and 9/16. Maybe this horse was just in front the whole time and nobody had enough gas to catch. Either way, I'm not wasting any gas on Irwin. If there's one horse's connections who would really, really, really love to have a redraw of this field, that's going to be Sakifu's. This horse, unfortunately, drawn way towards the outside. Not a good place to be when speed is important at Dubai and getting over and saving ground into that first turn. This is a horse that has won 3 races all on dirt in Japan, going 7 furlongs. Took some time off, returning the Saudi Derby, and was a very late running second. Just missed Pinehurst by a half length. It was actually very impressive that Pinehurst almost rebroke a little bit in mid-stretch there and held off Sakifu. But Sakifu, a very strong finish there. 4-1 on the morning line, second choice behind Pinehurst for that reason. If you think that Sakifu stretching out to 2 turns for the first time, to 1 mile and 16, first time beyond a mile, if you think those things are going to help this son of Henny Hughes, go ahead and put your money on it. I'm going to take a wait and see, and I think that this horse is ultimately going to be best going 1 turn. Brazilian-bred Kiefer is another 4-year-old, technically in the field, finished 6th, beaten 8 1/4 lengths in the Group 3 Saudi Derby last time out. However, has run better at Meydan, finishing 2 lengths behind the winner in each of his last 2 races. The UAE 2000 Guineas trial, finishing 3rd, and then the UAE 2000 Guineas behind Azure Coast. However, as I've said multiple times, I don't like Azure Coast. I don't like Quality Boon, who nosed out Kiefer for second in the UAE 2000 Guineas trial. So because of that, I'm passing on this horse. The 16th and final horse in the field is the Lone Filly. She'll be carrying 4 pounds fewer than anyone else in the field at 117, and she's going to need that help because she's not only is she breaking from the far outside post 16 as the Lone Filly against 15 very classy males. She's also a maiden in 2 starts. She got second in the UAE Oaks last time out, and maybe that's why they think this is a good spot for her. She did a very nice running second behind Shahama, who is now in the United States for Todd Pletcher, training up for the Kentucky Oaks. However, despite that being at a mile and 3/16, she's a maiden. She doesn't have a lot of early speed. She's a maiden. She's drawn way out in 16. And by the way, she's a maiden. Good luck. That's a field for the UAE Derby Saturday, March 26th at Meydan. This is race 5. It has a 10:10 a.m. Eastern time post time, so make sure you set those alarms, especially if you're like me on the West Coast, and you're probably going to be asleep right before this race gets started. So make sure you turn on those alarms, and make sure you head over to racingnews.com for all the free picks and free analysis of every race across America. We also have Dubai World Cup coverage over at youtube.com/racingdudes. We also find coverage of the Kentucky Derby and Kentucky Oaks Trails in full. Hit like if you like the video, subscribe if you like it. Tell me below in the comments who you think's winning the UAE Derby. Am I crazy for passing on Pinehurst and Sikifu? Do you think Combustion gets the job done like I do? Tell me below. I'll see you at the track.
This has been a presentation of racingdudes.com, your destination for all things horse racing and sports betting. Whether you want free winners, expert insider picks, up-to-the-minute trackside weather reports, or podcasts and videos for bettors of all skill levels, never make another wager without visiting the Racing Dudes. First,